Do you have this strong intuitive feeling that you are just destined to build a business and a life that stands out amongst the rest, but you just don't know how to get there? I feel you, I've been there, and I can see that you are another fellow flamingo just waiting to take flight. My name is Megan Shallow, social media guru and founder of BNL Media Consulting, and this is exactly what I have done through building my own beautiful empire that has become a unicorn in the social media management world, as well as a safe space for entrepreneurs to feel empowered with their digital marketing. All of this was founded on the basis of 3 magical words: breathe, nourish, and love. Are you ready to learn how to be that entrepreneur who shows up online and offline with confidence, has a business that makes an impact in this world, and lives a life full of connection, love, prosperity, and joy? If the answer is yes, then let's go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode. It's the evening again. I feel like this is where I'm like the most relaxed. You'll probably hear a difference in my voice compared to other episodes. Also, my voice is changing a little bit now that I've started doing my Nod Yoga teacher training. For those that don't know what that is, it's through Raj Academy, and it's been this magical journey of learning how to use kirtan to connect with your emotions. And for those of you that don't know kirtan, it is a sacred music that you sing in order to connect with yourself, as well as connect with with the divine, with however you'd like to describe that. And so I'm in this place of more relaxed energy. I did just come out of a week, to be completely honest, it threw me through a huge loop, and this was not the energy that was coming through. So I was not recording too many podcasts, but I have found I can record with ease and feel like I am sharing with you presently, after a good swim and some me time beforehand. So maybe evenings are when I'm going to be doing these recordings from here on out. Who knows? My sister, who is a sleep specialist, might disagree with this decision, but I'm feeling pretty good about it right now, so I'm just going to let it ride for a little bit longer. But I digress, because today's episode is an educational episode, and I'm going to help all of you business owners, as well as maybe freelancers out there looking to become social media managers or aspiring to get into the marketing world. Whatever that looks like for you, I am going to dive into what qualities, I've got 5, make for a really great social media manager. This is what I look for in BNL, and I understand when some people come through BNL, we are an agency now, so our costs are a little bit higher. So sometimes it is good to hire a social media manager that's a freelancer and just does work solo and does everything and doesn't really have too many outside costs. And I get that because I was there. I totally was there one day. In fact, oh gosh, so long ago it feels like. But there are qualities when we've been hiring that we've recognized actually make for great social media managers. And ironically enough, some people who have social media management experience in the past don't actually qualify into the BNL space. And so we started to really realize what makes a great social media manager. And I want to share this information for you because it will be helpful as you continue the hunt and to find the perfect person, just like you find the perfect bookkeeper and the perfect accountant and the perfect virtual assistant. The same goes with the social media manager. You need to find someone that's going to align well and also be good at the position. It's not a regulated job. There's no certificate when it comes to when it comes to social media management, not yet anyway, but there is certain qualities that are going to allow you to really decipher and help you figure out which one's the right one when you are shopping. Okay. So are you guys ready? I am going to start blabbing away. Okay. First, we've got punctuality. So this is a really important one. This is one that I didn't really realize was important because, to be honest, I am not very punctual. There are a lot of things for me that I'm like, I don't know how I got away with this, but I delegated. And I used to be punctual. I think it's gotten worse with age or with the responsibilities I've taken on. But as a social media manager, as someone that is on the ground working with an entrepreneur who flies all over the place, is doing a bunch of things at different times, their brain, you never know where their brain's going to be. You need someone reliable, and you need someone that you know is going to show up for you when you're ready to show up. So punctuality is a big one. First test of that, set a Zoom interview and see if they're on time. Step number 1. And if they're not on time, do they have an excuse? Is it like not an excuse, whether like is something valid or is it not valid? What is like, listen to your intuition and make sure you do a second interview, because that's when you can test to see if a pattern is there and if a pattern exists. If they were late for the first one, but maybe they weren't late for the second one, that could be like explained very well. And so these are things to look for when you're shopping. And you always got to shop. You have to, whenever someone comes to me and I ask them, have you hired social media manager before? And they say no, I say, great. Okay, well, this is how we do things. Feel free to go take a look and see what other people are doing. And so that you make sure that you're making the right decision and that it's the perfect fit for you. And people really appreciate that. So that is advice that I have been given. And through my Living in Balance mentorship program, that was something that I learned over and over again. And I was always encouraged to shop. So shop for a social media manager. And next, organization. Okay. This is a very big one. So punctuality, it's an important one because you need to have someone reliable for you, even though you can't call them an employee. When they're punctual, you know that they're going to be reliable. And the next step is organization. With social media management, it is a very creative job, but it is also a very organized job. The content calendars have to be curated and organized based on your marketing schedule. That is very important to you, and it has to be important, and they have to be able to organize that properly. Your social media management software has different files. It has different labels. It has all of these things that are extremely important in order to not lose track of what you've posted and to not lose track of anything at all. Your Canva is also needing to be organized, whether it's in certain themes, in certain file folders, whatever that is. Those things need to be extremely organized so that you don't double up on posts. You don't have an abundance of content that's just getting duplicated. You have someone to organize that all for you, because speaking to entrepreneur, as we get busy, our organization skills can definitely go down the toilet a little bit. And that's okay, because that's why we outsource. We outsource to people who can help us do that so that we can stay in our gift, which is usually creation. That's why we've all become entrepreneurs. We love creating. We love building. We love doing all the things. We may, when we have downtime, love organizing a Google folder, like maybe let's say between December 26th and December 31st. But for the rest of the year, we usually do not have time and we don't want to, because we want to spend time with our family and friends when we actually find time for ourselves, which as you continue to grow, you will find more and more of that. And especially as you delegate, just an FYI there, always delegate absolutely everything if you have to, so that you can run on your creative whim. And if you want to post a social media post, great. But if you don't want to post one for 5 days because you're exhausted and tired and you have so many other things, at least you know that there's someone who's got your back and they are organized. So we've got punctuality, which means also your posts are going to go out on time. Your posts are going to be monitored. Someone's going to be extremely careful about that. And just had a hiccup. Sorry. And then they're going to be organized. So you don't have to worry about your content ever again. You get a photo shoot, you forward that link to your social media manager, and they put it in the correct folders. That is their job. That is what they can do because they love more content. Okay. That's another one. Now, step number 3, they have to be creative. So you really are looking for unicorns. Like when I describe to people like BNL is a team of unicorns, it's because they are this rare individual that has a balance of right brain and left brain energy. So what I find with entrepreneurs is we're either very heavy left brain, which is like super creative and flighty, and we just love creating and doing all the things, or super organized, super detail oriented, super like checklists off the things right now, and super just like da 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 da. You got left, you got right. Yes, I love moving over to my right brain. It's less exhausting. But it's more exhausting for me. Staying in my left side is more fulfilling for me. And so what we find when we have clients is they come to us and they're like, I love, like, there's either two things. We've got one where I love posting on social media. It brings me so much joy, but I just don't have time. And that's fine. So they need our like right side of the brain. They need us to organize everything and make sure everything goes out. We'll send them the content. They get to use their left brain in order to edit and do those things, but they don't necessarily have to be like on it all the time. Then we have ones that I hate social media. I don't know what to post. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to do anything. And then they need our left side of the brain. They need more of the creative side of the brain. I hope I'm getting my lefts and rights mixed like on like right. If I'm not, feel free to correct me in the comments below, but you know what I'm trying to say. You've got the creative side of the brain. You've got the admin side of the brain. There's two different types of individuals that come to us. There's some, which I'm kind of having an epiphany right now, that are very like super creative, but just don't have the time. They wish they could keep going on their own, but they can't. Or we've got the ones that they have the time, but they really don't even know where to start. And so they need our creatives. So our unicorns, they have both. So they're able to provide whatever the client needs. And that is the gift of a social media manager. You need to find the unicorns. Not all social media managers are unicorns. Unfortunately, I have met some that are very great left brain, but they're not organized and they're not punctual. And so this is something as you as an entrepreneur need to ask yourself, are these qualities that I really need in a social media manager? If the answer is no, because you work on the flow and you're happy with your social media to be in the flow and it's fine and you don't need to worry about it, then great. But if you want to make sure that your marketing strategy is being implemented and that things are moving forward on time and that nothing is getting delayed and posts aren't getting forgotten and your new content is being pushed out and your marketing goals are being met and all these deadlines are happening, nothing is happening too late, no one's forgotten that it's a holiday today, and they haven't put a post out, these are all things that you need to ask yourself. Okay. That was 3. Creative. They have to be creative. You can ask them to see a portfolio, but to be honest, when someone asks me to see a portfolio, you can only see the front end of the post, but it is great to see if they have good copywriting skills. So even seeing examples of posts, you can get a pretty good sense of a social media manager's copywriting skills and creativity based on their own social media presence. If a social media manager does not have, it doesn't matter about their following. For me, I don't care about a social media manager's following, because everyone starts somewhere. It took me 5 years to get where I am, and I'm still trying to build and grow. But you can take a look at what type of creative they're creating. And are they only using stock imagery? Can you tell that they have some graphic design skills, or are they just pulling Canva templates? What is what's the caliber of the work they're producing? But also you can tell with what their copywriting skills are based on their own copy. If they're just doing one sentences all the time and they're not kind of doing a mixture of short, long, and medium, that's something to look at. You can look at their website. How serious are they? Do they have a website? What does the website say? How is the copy? Are there spelling mistakes? What are these little details that you need to make sure that if it's happening on their social, it will happen on yours. So you have to do due diligence and check these things. But then also creativity. The creative piece comes from the content and the copywriting. You can really tell if someone has a strong creative space if the feed kind of has a creative feel. The graphics are unique. There's different elements that make them seem different. And that's definitely feedback that we get from people when they come through BNL. They say, I looked at your Instagram, really loved the vibe. I really loved the energy. It seems like you guys are established. How can I work with you? And what does that look like? And those are questions that you can ask the social media manager that you're searching for. I am not selling you on BNL. Like I said, every social media manager team is different. Every type of work is different, but you just need to take a look at these things because you want someone to treat your social media like their own. So if their own doesn't feel that good, your own is also not going to feel that good. And that's not anything to do with the individual. It's just their level of knowledge as well as their level of creativity. Okay. So that's that. Number 4, being proactive. This is something that I have learned time and time again through training a bunch of different people to try to take on these social media manager roles. There's people that will wait for you to tell them what to do. And then there are people who will do things and then show you after what they've done, and then you can just approve. So you don't want someone that's going to wait, especially if you're paying for packages and they come to you or you sign them on. This is a red flag. So sometimes you can't really know this one until you hire them. So make sure you're hiring contracts that are month to month. You want to make sure that they're never waiting on you and they don't say something. So of course, with the onboarding, like you have to get them all your Google Drives and all of those things. But you want them to ask you for them if they haven't heard from you, because time can disappear with an entrepreneur, and sometimes they need a reminder, and that's fine. And we get that because I need a reminder. Like I need reminders all day, every day. But these are things that you want them to start asking you straight out of the gate. If they don't hear from you within a day, you want to hear something from them. And then also, if they're waiting on content because maybe you don't have a lot, but you know you need to get started, being proactive means they create some graphics for you. They don't need you to create those graphics. And they also pull stock imagery that's unique and different and in alignment with your brand. So they start to build out a feed regardless of if you sent them anything or not, but they're being proactive so that if you do want to replace a photo with another photo, you can do that. But they already have a foundation and a skeleton for you to work off of. This is why you want proactive individuals. And there's a question you can ask, but it's not really something you know until you're in it. So that's why, like I said, don't sign anything too long. It's kind of like hiring an employee. You want to have that probation period of seeing if it's a good fit so that the snowball can roll. Because as we all know, social media management doesn't produce instant results. A Facebook ad can, an Instagram ad can, but well, maybe not instant. I don't want to say that, but it can produce them a lot faster than just social media management. But social media management is an important task, just like bookkeeping, just like accounting, just like email marketing, all of those things. Social media management falls under that folder. So this is why you have to really be careful. And the proactive piece is a huge one. It's one that I used to not hire for, and then I started to learn, and then I started to see the trends really quickly, and now I can nip it in the bud pretty quick, and we can either fix it or we can arrange a different scenario. So that's that. And then last one, number 5, you want them to be amazing multitaskers. With social media, so much happens and so much can occur so quickly, and so many shifts can change in your business so quickly that you need them to be able to do a bunch of different things. So you don't want someone who's like, sorry, I've made the calendar for you and I no longer can change it. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag everywhere. If someone ever says that to you, you need to put your flags up right away and you have to say no. You have to end the contract because your business ebbs and flows and it needs changes. And if someone's doing copywriting and stuff, but then you need to ask them to do a quick change on something, you want them to say yes. Of course, I'm a huge fan of boundaries. So if they say, yeah, I can definitely make that happen within the next 24 to 48 hours, that is fine. But if someone says, yeah, I can put it in for next month's schedule, which is a month from now, that's not going to be useful to you. So that is not a great, I don't even know, maybe the word multitasker isn't correct, but yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You need someone to be flexible. Maybe that's the word that I'm looking for. Flexibility. Not being super strict. You are the entrepreneur. You are the one in charge. Definitely respect a freelancer's boundaries because, of course, they are managing more than just your account. But you also need that flexibility because your marketing is really important. And if something changes, that change has to be made. And so that is where I recommend really finding someone that doesn't stay strict in certain ways and has the ability and the flexibility. So maybe multitasker isn't the right word. Number 5 is being flexible. So being able to produce results, being able to stay organized and have structure and be punctual, which are all very really great things, but also being creative and flexible. So you've got a balance, which is why I call my team a team of unicorns because they have that. And they are super successful in what they do. They learn so quickly when they have all these elements, and they're able to really morph and support you as a client really well. So when you're on the search for someone, whether, it's with B&L or it's with another social media management agency, I don't know any, but if you find any, let me know. Or if it's a freelance social media manager that you met online, sounds like dating. You found them on Instagram, you found them through Google, you found them from a referral through a friend. These are all qualities that you have to ask for. And if they've never had social media management experience before, but they love social media and they're starting up and maybe they're new and maybe you're one of their first clients, look at their resume and see what their past jobs were. If they've worked in the hospitality industry, they're a unicorn. If they've supported creative spaces, like if they've done any copywriting or if they've done any content creation before, you've got a unicorn. But for me, like hospitality, those restaurant people, they are so good. They can do everything. They have to be creative. They have to be personable. They have to be punctual. They have to run on timelines. But they also have to get creative because they have to deal with ebbs and flows of clients' needs and wants. They're just wonderful. And so I've noticed the pattern for me is if they've worked in the hospitality industry, they know. Even I worked in the hospitality industry for, I think I lasted 4 months, 5 maybe. I worked at a yacht club in Kelowna, and it definitely helped me be able to do all of those things and also learn how to work with people and clients in vulnerable situations when you're dealing with people's food. So if you aren't sure, look at their resume, see what their experience is like, check out their LinkedIn. Sometimes people don't put that they've worked in a restaurant on their LinkedIn. So definitely grab a resume if they're really new into the space and start shopping. And I hope this helped. So if you're a new entrepreneur starting to think about delegating, grab this checklist, take it with you, listen to it again maybe so it's drilled into your brain. You need to find a unicorn in the social media management world. If it's not B&L, it's somewhere else. I mean, obviously I'm hiring and building them and trying to create them and channeling their gifts and talents. But if you find any others, that's great because they belong in this space and they're going to do really well and they're going to be successful. And if they're new, then you're probably going to get them at a great rate. Not saying to ever downplay or try to cheap someone out, but when a freelancer social media manager is there, their overhead is a lot lower, so you can work on a smaller budget. So I hope this helped. I look forward to connecting with you again. I am curious to hear about your experiences shopping for social media managers. If you have any questions, you know where to find me at BNL Social on Instagram, or leave a comment here in the podcast world and we will definitely respond. And I hope everyone has a great day. Continue to post on social media, have fun. And if you're not having fun, always delegate because the joy needs to be there in order for your social media to be successful. Have a good day, everyone, and we will talk soon. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Fly Flamingo Fly with BNL. We are so grateful you stopped by, and we hope that something from today's conversation ignited the inspiration you were looking for so that you can keep moving forward towards the life of your dreams. This podcast was produced by BNL Media Consulting with the amazing help of Podigy Podcasts. We'd love to hear your takeaways from this episode, so be sure to leave us a review, as well as give us a follow on Instagram at BNL Social. If you need any help with your social media marketing, feel free to visit our website at www.bnlmediaconsulting.com, and we would be more than happy to support you. We hope you have an amazing day, and we cannot wait to connect with you again next time. Have a good one, everyone.